All right, good evening, good night. It's 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. This is week 15. If you all are hearing this, thank the Lord for your health and strength. It's good to be alive. All right, let's get right into it. All right, so live we are. So we're gonna go over crypto in this video. Gonna look at our positions. I did add to my position. Uh, and we'll look at DivTracker and Snowball analysis, and we'll do our Q&A, and we'll get this over with. Hopefully, we won't make this video as long as we did the last time. All right, let's roll through it quickly. All right, so live, we're currently down just over $1 for the day. We're up almost $1,400. For the week, we're down $4,200, over $4,200. For the month, we're just under 11,000. 3 months, we are just under 46,000. Year to date, we're over 41,000. For the year, 41,000. And all time, we are currently just under 34,000. So let's take a look at this past week. As you can see here, we started out at around midnight before the market opened. What was at 71,000, and the market just started to come down. Did that, come all the way down to 61 there. Hit 59 here, made a little recovery, and really the recovery here was really when I got my dividends, really, because it was at 61, I believe, and I got dividends that put it at 64, and now we're at 67 simply because of the overnight market, and also some other things. Bitcoin is one of the main culprits. All right, so look at our buying power. We had a total margin of 51,000. Now we are at 55, and that's because I added to my position. But also we got paid dividends, so that brought down my total margin use because I was at 44, and then I jumped up to 47. Then I got paid my dividends. That brought it back down. So that's where we are. All right, so we have a buffer of 14,000, portfolio 67,000. Our daily interest has dropped to $6.93 because we paid off a little bit of the margin by simply just getting dividends. I didn't do anything myself, so to speak. The interest rate, we're being charged 6% right now. And all right, so now let's take a look at crypto. All right, so Bitcoin is currently, let's make sure this is the most recent. All right, so Bitcoin is just at 105,000. I think it hit 106 today. Yes, it did. Ethereum, let's refresh it, make sure we're there. 39,000. 3,900, I'm sorry. XRP, $2.41. Shiba, 4 zeros and 27. PP, 4 zeros and 23. Kronos, which is my baby, 17 cent. Dogecoin, this is what we currently have. Equity of 4,000. We have a profit of just over 1,800. We haven't added to this position. We're waiting on this position to maybe give over $1, and then we may consider selling it. All right, so Coney came down. Let's see, that's the day this past week. So we can see here Coney was around 17. We can see it made a steady drop. We know they had their EX day, which was $1.34, so it dropped there. and it didn't get down to 14. I was hoping to see it come down to 14. I would consider adding to this position, maybe. But you can see our profit total return is down to $2,900. I think we was up a lot more that when it was around $17. Um, so yeah, that's where we are. Misty, Misty's at 39.90 right now in the over market. Market value is at 30 over 31,000. Profit is at 11,000. Average cost 800 shares. All right. Oh, and we get paid this week on Misty, Friday. So we're looking forward to seeing what that. If you look at Retire on Dividends video that he dropped today, he was estimating that Misty would be, if I'm not mistaken, three $3.35 or $3.25, which I thought was a quite nice amount. So check out this video if you have time. Retire on Dividends. OT. OT is currently $9.50. We have a market value of $2,800. We're down $224, and we did add to our position. I think I had 45 shares of OT. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Well, we can just come down here and check what our purchase history, right? Let's see. All right, so yeah, had 45 shares, about 255 at 9.42, because we got on to $10, and the margin maintenance, I thought it was 30%, 35. So it's nice that we can add to it. So this is probably going to be the position that I'm going to look at adding. I would have loved to add to this position before it started to run up. But you can see this past week, Coney has made a nice run up. It's almost back to $20. All right, so we're at 4,500 market value, $861, and 260 shares. Average cost is 1403, so we're definitely in profit with that. SMCI, it's at 30.25, market value 5,400, down $28. Average cost is 30.41. We may nibble at this position, especially if it drops a little bit lower. Super micro computer SMCI here, $2,400. We're up $80, 31.88 is the average price. So it's not too far off that we could add to it and nibble to it. We can expect this to pay out. I can't remember what retirement dividends payout was for this, but I think it was over $1, maybe close to $2 for this one. So that'll be nice. And then that would be a buying opportunity to buy on EX date or the day after if the price continues to drop. All right, YBit, another one I would have liked to build a position in it, but the required maintenance is 50%. So nothing has changed with this as far as me adding to the position. AMC, this is my first love. I ain't gonna say my first love, but you know how it is. Your first love, you're so in love with that person, and you ain't giving up. So yeah, nothing's changed here, but I keep my eye on it. Keep your eye on GameStop this week. Also, there's been some news, well, some rumors, so to speak. All right, let's get to DivTracker here. Let's refresh it. All right, so I know this is not up to date because it's showing my Coney position as not showing the recent dividend payout, and it still got Coney estimated on the previous payout, which was um, I think it paid out. I can't remember how much I got paid out in Coney, maybe up 4,000, I think, or 6 or 8. I can't remember right now at this moment. Uh, so we're gonna just zoom through here. It's not accurate sector. It's not totally. It's accurate, but it hasn't updated to the latest information. I guess that's what I should say. See right here, it's saying that Coney hasn't hasn't declared their dividend payout, and they have. That's what I got paid out last month, $8,600 in Coney. Um, but this month it came down a little bit, so I think it was around $4,600, which is still nice. Um, Overall, this is likely profit. So it hasn't updated because you would see Misty, I mean not Misty, but Coney would be at about 2,000 instead of 12. That's where it was when we was looking at about 17, $18 per share. But it hasn't updated, so it's not reflecting that. But Misty is pretty close, and all these others are pretty close. All right, um, let's get to here. All right, so this is um, snowballanalysis.com. So this is about where we're at. If you look here, this is only up $1,300. If we take that $1,300 away, then we would be looking at about this right here. So we're pretty accurate here right now. Total invested is over $109,000 profit. Total profit. This is actually the margin cost that I owe on Robinhood. So that's not a negative total profit. All right, so here it's showing capital gain is at 84 over 8,400. My realized profit and loss is a negative 76,000. Dividends is a positive 20, almost $25,000. Fees $537, and other transaction 19. I guess that's probably interest. Um, I'm not sure what that negative unrealized. No, it's realized profit and losses. I hadn't. I guess I don't know because that's 43. That's be the margin. Um, so I'm not sure what else it could be. All right, but let's just take a look. We may find it and discover it here. How about that? Let's see what else we got out here. All right, cash, crypto, information technology. All right, so today's game, you can see Misty here. I don't show Coney anywhere in there. All right, here's Coney over here, 54. What we got here? It's percentages. All right, so here we are. Coney, $4,600, as I stated earlier on the other DivTracker. Coney's paid out, Tesla's paid out, YBit is paid out, OT is paid out, IWNY is paid out, Misty hasn't paid out, SMCY hasn't paid out. Tesla has another payment this month, so Tesla paying out twice. YBit I think is paying out twice, and IWNY you see it multiple times because it's a weekly paying. All right, so paid out is showing for December. Um, I guess it's how they're subtracting. Oh, they're adding the paid amount and the estimated amount to be $9,500 for this month. But we won't really know until we get these last 2 weeks paid out. But this is the projection so far. So far, that has dropped to 10K. I think it was looking at 11K. And this is what it's estimating for the next 12 months. So going into next year, right now we're looking at an estimated of dividend payout of $125,000, if that is correct. So yeah, I guess so. If you're averaging about a little bit over 10 per month, then yeah, you're looking at about $125,000. All this is subject to change because crypto winter could come in after 5 or 6 months and these dividends would pay less, but they still will be paying nicely. Dividends received is saying that we've received $24,000 of dividends, almost 25,000. You can see the progression. I don't really start counting. I put my money in August, and then I got my first payout of significance. Let's see here. Yeah, of significance in September. So we got September. I had about $2,700, over 27. October, we increased that to 6,000. Last month, November, we had just over 9,200, and so far in December, we made $5,100 in dividend payout. So that's nice. You can see again the dividend growth here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's see here. This was looking at the funds. All right, so you see here, capital gain on Coney, it's 3,000. I told you it was down because it was up around 10, 12,000, I think last month, somewhere around there. Profit and loss, realized profit and loss, $4.30. So I don't know if I sold a small um, piece of Coney. Dividends so far that we received this year in Coney is $15,000, people. Misty, you see here the capital gain is over $8,600. The realized profit and loss, yes, is $1,500. That's because I sold $200 worth of Coney last month. Total dividends received so far with Misty, just over $600 to $800. You can see what we got there with SMCY, Tesla, dividends 1,000, so forth and so forth. All right, what we got here? Show sold, category, show unallocated. Okay. Alrighty. All right, so let's look here. All right. Any more information that we can glean here? That's general dividends return. Okay, that's nice. Something you can see. All right, let's do this. Sort it by great to least. Total profit. It's got Dogecoin here, ladies and gentlemen. Total profit here on Misty. I believe similar to what we had over there. So this is the profit that where I said I sold those 200 shares in Misty. All right, let's go to the bottom here. All right, so cost basis 99,000, current value 108, total dividend received, I believe 24,000, and this is just in the last 4 months. August, September, October, November, December. We'll make it 5. All right. Capital gain, we have a plus 8,400. Realized profit, total profit 34,000. Daily, which is going to fluctuate. We're gonna get it here. Let's go to dividend. Hit this. All right. So I guess we're getting a yield of 115%. Yield on cost 125. Um, it's saying annually, but we didn't have a total annual contribution, so to say. We just started back in September and August. Dividend rating 100%. You can see here, Misty, the yield cost, county, so forth and so forth. Holdings, categories, all one. I need to diversify. Classes, all the same. I need to diversify. Sectors, all the same. All the same. Don't y'all do what I do right there. Annual payout. So Coney, let's check this out. Annual payout, it says YieldMax Coney or coin option, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know what that is. Annual payout, I guess if I had contribute, I don't know if this is looking forward to next year or what it would have been this year had I invested the entire year. It's saying an annual payout of $71,000, 56.59% from all dividends, invested 51,000. So they're saying on 51,000, if I guess I had been having this for the whole year, I would have received a dividend payout of 71,000. That is crazy yield, people. Crazy yield. Misty. I have invested currently over 21,000 in Misty. Um, they're saying an annual payout of 42,000. SMCY, I have 54 invested, annual payout of 4,700. Tesla. So these amounts are small, but these are some position we're looking to increase. See what else we got. Showing again the future payments. See, this is more accurate than the other one, DivTracker. Just, I think this is repetitive information. Just giving you different looks. Here's growth. All right, so here's growth. It says my portfolio is ahead of the S&P 500 by $36,000. And this is saying year to date. And I haven't invested in this for the whole entire year. Let's go back to 6 months is probably a little bit more accurate. Um, so it's saying for the past 6 months, which I've got about almost December will complete it at right at 5 months, I think. So it's saying I've outperformed the S&P about $35,000, over $35,000, 118%. My portfolio is the blue, the S&P is the orange, and that is my amount that I have invested. So you can see the figures that they changed there. These yields are crazy, people. These yields are crazy, people. These yields are crazy, people. All right, metrics. Let's see what this is. Portfolio PE, weighted average PE of all individual stocks put together. I don't know if that's good. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this. Somebody, if you do know, comment in the comments. I'm not sure what the metrics. Volatility shows my portfolio versus the market. My portfolio versus the market. Risk adjustment return portfolio is 1.12, which is good. All right. Okay, I think we've seen all that. And this is probably something I could get done if I wanted to get done. All right, so I think that's pretty much has concluded all that. Some other information out here that I've got to spend some time going through it so I can have a better understanding. All right, let's move on. You see Misty, 152.62% yield. OT, 90, I didn't mean to click on that. 98%. But let's get to our Q&A section. All right, let's do this. All right. All right. First question 2 days ago. Boy, that name is hard to make out. Dazzle. I don't know what that is. But anyway, I thank you for posting your question. Let's see if I can go over right quick. It says, "Are you being paid? Oh, are you a paid sponsor by YieldMax?" Of course, I responded back, "No, I'm not a paid sponsor of any YieldMax fund. My first experience with high yields were with USOI. It was owned by Credit Suisse, but US Bank took over, so I sold off at a loss. Um, I meant to say they paid monthly dividends, and that's where I got my first taste of high yield. So when I finally came across YieldMax, I was a very happy individual. I didn't have to give it a second thought about buying them, but I did just test the waters first, and that's where you saw um, in the chart there was some small, maybe $30 and $40 back in January that I was making on some of these. But no, I'm not a paid sponsor by YieldMax. Like I said, my first experience with USOI, which is ETN, an exchange traded note, which is debt. But it was a cover call. Let's see here. Let's pull it up right here. USOI. All right, so it's a crude oil share cover call. It was a little bit different. It was Credit Suisse, so it was worded a little bit different. But yes, this is it. Um, they were around 60, $70. Oh, look at the 52 week. So, but this is what they paid out in the dividend history. You can see there, boom. Last month they paid out $1.61. This is what they paid over the course of time. And I'll mention another stock here. This one here is a quarterly paying one. It's a shipping company out of Israel. Um, this was this where I got my first huge one-time payment of dividend, and I'll show you back here. Let's see here, right here, April, April of 2023. I had maybe 3,500 shares of this, and I got, if I'm not mistaken, it was $17,000. Let's see here. Um, 35 times 6.40. All right, so it might have been 22,000 or either that, somewhere between that. No, it wasn't 22. I got paid 17,000. I might have had maybe 3,200 shares. Let's see, times 6.40. Something. But anyway, I got a one-time payment, the biggest dividend payment I ever got. The amount was $17,000 at one time. And what got me interested is when I came across this, I saw that in March of 2022, they had paid out $17 per share in dividends. And then I got interested in it. I got a yield trap right here because you see what happened. From here, they didn't start paying out dividends for almost a whole nother year. So yeah, I actually sold out a position at a loss, a significant loss. It hurt. I tell you, it hurt. All right, where was I? All right, so yeah. Oh yeah, so that what got me interested in monthly paying high yield ETFs was USOI. It was the first one I did it. I was a little skeptical, a little apprehensive of it. At that when I got in it, it was around $5, $6, and it was paying out $1 and $2 a month. Unbelievable. And then they did a reverse split, brought it up to 70 something dollars, and now they're here. But it's a shipping company out of Israel, and I still may get back into them someday. I do own maybe one or five shares in a Webull account, I believe. All right. It says, why don't the next guy, oh, the same individual. He said, why don't you just buy YieldMax? And I replied, well, for me, I need income. And YieldMax doesn't provide me with the greatest return with the lowest price possible. I would use YieldMax like Biggie and Zoe as a holding place, like a savings account. Now, with that said, I did have 100 shares a few weeks ago of YieldMax. That's what it was, and I will get another 100 shares to use them to use it as weekly payment to decrease my margin balance. I could put $15,000 into Coney or Misty and get more money back in monthly income than if I put it into YieldMax. YieldMax is a collected of all the YieldMax funds, except for maybe one or two. Um, but I like it. I do like it as a weekly option. Um, but I would need $18,000 to get what, 1,000 shares, or yeah, 1,000 shares, and then 1,000 times like 20 cent. Yeah, see, let me do the numbers for you right quick. Just show you right. So $18,000, right? I think YieldMax is around that price. We're just gonna say 18, right? So that's 1,000 shares times, let's say the highest they paid here recently was maybe like 30 cents, right? So that's $300, and you multiply that times four. That's $1,200, right, for that month, right? Now, if I had $18,000, right, and I put that in a Misty right now, which is at what, 39? I said, I think, times the last payout for Misty was 442, I think. See, so that's why. If it was in Coney, 18,000. Right now at Coney, let's say seven. Let's just say 16, right? And they paid out $1.34 this last time, right? So $1,500. So I'm going to come out making more by putting into those others just on the math part. So that's the reason why. And then, oh, the secondary reason is like Coney, I have an average price of 1482. So in if Coney goes up to $30, I'll be able to sell like half of my position and take all my profit, which would be like $51,000. You can't do that with YieldMax. It may go up to 21 or $22, but you'll never be able to sell half of it and get a huge profit. So that's one of the reasons why I'm in Coney, as I got in at a low price, and if it goes up 100%, I can sell half of my position and pull my money out. Same thing with Misty, but I messed up and increased my average cost in Misty. Let's see here. Nav erosion. What about nav erosion? All right, so this is a big concern for a lot of people with nav erosion. You have people that talk about total return, nav erosion, blah, 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 blah. So it can go either way. It depends on what you want as an individual. I can't tell you, no, don't worry about nav erosion. I mean, for me, it's not that big of a concern. And we'll go in and see if what I wrote explains. It says, I don't really have any concern about nav erosion. If I get if I get it, that's what I should have said. If I get it near the 52-week lows, like I did with Coney, that is to a certain degree. Why is that, you ask? Well, I would like it like this I will, what did I put? Well, I'll look at it like this. If I put $51,000, which is what I currently have, 35 times the average cost, Coney thus far has paid me $3,600 as I think that's average a month. I think $3,600, about $3,600. And if you look at the last 4 months, I'm averaging about $3,600. Yes. So in 18 months, I'll make, I'll be able to, how do I put it? In 18 months, I'll make all my initial investment back plus more. I would use two options if the NAV gets low. One, I would add more shares if I believe the underlying stock, which is MicroStrategy, to bring down my average cost down even lower to gain from profit once it returns to its 52-week highs. Second option would be I would set a limit order to sell half of all my position and move it elsewhere, or to re-enter at a lower price. That means re-enter Coney or Misty once they came back low. If I sold at a high price, it says long term. Long term, if it's printing me money and I've gotten all my initial investment back, then it's just a money printing machine for me, and all I'm having to do is pay taxes. So yeah, so if I put 51,000 in there, and I get that back in 12 to 18 months, uh, let's say the value of Coney is down 5 or 10,000, right? But I have gotten my initial amount paid out through dividends, and so if I got my initial paid out, then I'm good. Especially, and all I have to do is just leave that position there and continue to make money each month. Ain't cost me anything other than paying taxes. But some people don't like the NAV going down. They put 5,000. They don't want to see it come down to 2,500 because they feel like it's a loss. Well, I haven't lost unless I sold it. The value of it's gone down, but I haven't lost anything unless I sell. So that's how I look at it. And if it's paying me a significant amount of dividends each month, I look at it as a money printing machine, something I don't have to work for anymore. But to each his own. I don't follow anyone who wants to maintain the NAV. There are other guys on YouTube that are very strong about NAV erosion. They don't like seeing that. Um, for me, I'm not that big of a, big. I don't have a big issue with it unless it's a significant loss like my IWMY, which I'm down like 5,000 in another position, another brokerage. All right. David 388 says, "Love the videos, very educational." I reply, "Thank you. Just sharing my personal growth and the little knowledge I gained from other tubers. It's not financial advice, just my opinion." Appreciate the questions, guys. Appreciate the question, all of you. Thank you. Let's check out this one. This was last week's video. We're gonna try and get through this quicker because we're at 35 already. Time flies. All right, Tim says, "What are your goals for shares for the funds you have, and also what funds are you wanting to jump into?" All right. So I want to continue increasing my position in small increments unless it's too good to pass up. So like if Coney come down to 14 or 13, $11, then I'm probably going to increase that position. Despite crypto winter coming, I'm going to increase that position. Same thing with Misty. If it drops, pulls back, I'm just going to increase my position. Now, I would like to finish building up my position in Tesla, AIYY, OT, YieldMax, Coney, Misty, SMCY, YBIT. My short-term goal is to have 5,000 shares. My long-term goal is 10,000, simply because of the math, and I like the way it looks when it comes to multiplying. And maybe adding Biggie and SOE. I forgot how they're Soxy, Amaro. And it simply is because these are going to have, I think, an annual 12% yield or something like that. And so if I've sold my position out of Coney or Misty and want to park it somewhere until I make a decision, I would probably put it in one of those three or all three and let it just make money um, as a savings account, maybe getting 12% each month versus putting in the bank and getting 0.001%. So yeah, or even a high yield savings account that's probably doing 4.5%. So this is still better. Thank you. Thank you, Tim. Um, Tim also has another question. What did he say here? It says, "I'm spending my dividends to buy as many Marrow shares as possible, hoping to get to 150 to 175, 170 shares. Group B is the weakest for me, and the volatility of Mara makes me think the payment will be large. Hoping for another Misty here." And I think you're right, just on the small information that I've heard. And I said, okay, okay, that's a nice plan. I did hear that she might be a high paying one like Misty. You might just be on to something. I think I heard Morrow will be using the high ET. Oh, so I've heard that they may be using like out of the all of the YieldMax funds, the ones that have got high yields, say like Coney, Misty, Nvidia, taking all the top ones, maybe five or six of them, and using that as a play. And I think that's what they were saying, or I'm not sure. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up. But anyway, yeah, I like it too, man. Um, Professor Foxtrot says, "Looking forward to that sweet Coney dividend." And I say, it was nice. It was $1.34, but I was hoping for close to two, or at a high dollar 180, 190. But hey, you can't be getting $1.34 hardly anywhere in the market. So it's still good, but sometimes you can get spoiled when you're getting those two and close to $3 um, monthly ones. All right. The next individual, I can't make out that name, but it says OT is in last place. Is crazy. And I think he was talking about the number of shares I had in OT, and I think the day before he had wrote this comment, or the day after, or the day of, I did purchase some. Um, I said, man, it's a position I want to build up. Now I did add to this position, bringing my share count to 300 from 45, and brought my average cost down to 1025. She's not she's not last anymore. I said, laughing out loud. So yeah, I'm looking to build that position up because of the what is it? The prosperous the I forgot what they call it, that they write out for the SEC saying what they're going to do. Um, has they made some changes to OT, and so ultimately have some nice upside. My good old friend APC 1305 says, you have to stop playing with your federal withholdings at the beginning of the year. I've seen many of my coworkers get into a financial bind because they changed their exemptions. You are playing Russian roulette. Yes, I agree. I agree. I agree. I've been doing it for a number of years, and I got my pay stub alert today. And what I did is I had some extra PTO time, and I did a payout. I sent it to my federal and my state, and I actually right now I am currently paid more in than I did last year in federal and state. I owed about $800 in state, so I've paid almost $1,000 more in state and another $1,000 more in federal. So hopefully I'm good on that end. When I got the text alert for my check, I think my check was $185 because I paid so much money on my last check of the year trying to get it squared away. But yeah, man, I appreciate the awareness. I am gonna hopefully. Like I said, I am going to come January 1st. I'm turning them things off, and I'm gonna try and pay down some of this debt. That hopefully I'll make a video sometime before this year is out and let you all know just how much debt I am and how much debt I'm trying to take care of with these high yield ETFs. He said again, my good friend said, be careful with SMCI and SMCY. The accounting issues isn't completely resolved. They receive an extension from the SEC, and he is absolutely right. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the best because SMCY is paying out a nice dividend, and I would like to increase those positions while they're under $50 and be set in it like Misty. Um, he made another comment here. My good friend, he says, uh, I looked at both SMCY was 2130 and I was so tempted to buy. Yes, I was trying to catch it at the bottom and it hit. I saw it. I saw it hit. I may have seen it hit 17. Um, and I did see it hit around 20 something. And man, I wish that got in. When I saw it starting to move up, I knew that there was a little bit of recovery and I jumped in. He said, my instinct was to buy, but I didn't know why I didn't. He said, it would have been a nice profit. I missed a nice profit to buy YieldMax and Misty. I purchased some on 11.4 or dropped to 26.95. I bought a small amount, but I was unsure because of the election. And the next day it was at 27. I get you, man. And that's what I like about it. APEC. I like it because of the volatility and Supermicro computers is if they can get their accounting issues correct, I think it's going to be more volatile than Misty with the microchips. I don't know how long all that would last, but yeah, man, I love it. Let's see here. He says, I didn't buy any because I was unsure of the results and I anticipated a possible dispute of the election and a reaction in the market. Boy, was I wrong. Hey, it's all okay. We learn and we move on. And hey, there's been some positions that I didn't move on, and man, it killed me. It killed me that I didn't. It said the extension is until February. I believe keep a close eye on it. I'll do that, man. Keep reminding me. Appreciate it. All right, so that's all for that. Let's see here. I think we covered all these here from the last week. Yeah. All right, let's go to the shorts. Oh, we got something out here. Let's see here. All right. All right. So this was a few hours ago, 8 hours ago. He says, "Just found you and wow, hope to get to the. Just found you and wow, hope to get to this point." I got you. Can you do a breakdown on how to get the max dividends and just starting out? Um, no, Norbert, I would just recommend you sort of have to watch the underlying position and the YieldMax position, um, and see a pattern. Read the news articles, notice the behavior or how they're moving. But one thing, if it's something, if it's a position like Coney and Misty that you are very sure about how it's gonna move, and you can get it near the 50-week low or get it on a huge pullback, that's when I would get in. I would buy a position there, maybe a small or large position, depending on what I have as far as equity. Because that's one of the, and I'm using margin on Robinhood. So getting in near a 52-week low, like Ulti right now is at $9, $10. You catching at a low. So when it does move up or make a recovery, it's instant profit. And then if it ever pulls back on you, when it pulls back, it's gonna pull back near your average cost, and you ain't got to worry about your margin. So yeah, that's what I would say. But hey, don't do your own due diligence. Don't take my own financial advice, because I'm not the best at this, but I am taking advantage of these high yields. I appreciate the comment. Um, code name Dark. It's nice. Code name Dark. Thanks, man. Stay tuned. Yep, stay tuned. Appreciate the comments. I mean the questions. All right, here we go. Another one. All right, question. Hey, question. Is the ETF on Coney, are they safe to put money into, or what, or is what, or is what of those companies that take, or is it one of those company that takes our money and disappears? Well, I don't think so because unless in the underlying company like Tesla, super micro computers, Nvidia, if those companies goes under, then YieldMax will have to di- dissipate those funds because they would have nothing to make cover calls and collect the premium and pay them out. YieldMax is just simply taking those underlining, buying synthetic cover calls, collecting the premium, paying them out to us as monthly income, and some of the positions are weekly. But just do your own due diligence. I would say nothing is guaranteed, but I would say they're pretty safe. But I wouldn't want you to say, well, YieldMax Mindset said they were safe, and now look at it. I would hate for that to happen to you. But do it in your own good conscience. Continue to watch the videos and other people who are in these positions, as people that give you the opposite views of what I give, and take all of that and make your own decision. Oh, so what did I say? I said so far, YieldMax funds are still making changes to their funds to improve them. Like Coney is created by YieldMax funds and others. They follow Coinbase, which is Coin, by using synthetic cover calls and paying them out. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Uh, Dwayne, I believe it is, Bolin. It says, "Thank you, King." Okay. And I get what he's saying, but I did want to say, I said respectfully, I I'll just say that there's only one king, that's Jesus Christ. I'm just an old wretched man, and I get the appreciation for the content. I just had to say that to let the world know he's the reason why I celebrate Christmas and not Santa Claus. Yeah, I am a I'm someone who believes in the Bible, and If you read the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, I believe, or chapter 20, it talks about the workmen going out to the forest, chopping down a tree, fastening it down, and that this is a form of idolatry. I don't care who tells you these lights represents the Christians on the tree or the angels on the tree. Those are all lies according to God's word. And so I'll let each be their own judge. But hey, I'd rather obey scripture than man's tradition of Santa Claus and elves and reindeers. All these are folklores and stuff that are untrue that our children should not be taught. It's okay to admire how the beauty of these things, but to put them in, put it this way, Christmas is supposed to be a celebration of Jesus Christ's birthday, right? And imagine if you had a birthday party and everybody showed up to your birthday party and exchanges gift with other people, but didn't bring you a gift. And so people celebrate Christmas, but and they give each other gifts, which there's nothing wrong with gift giving. But Jesus is supposed to be the reason of for the season. And so if we're celebrating Santa Claus and reindeers and elves, these things are folklores, and it takes the devil has a say in everything. He brings Santa Claus in to take us away from Christmas. He brings Valentine's Day to take us away that He is love. He brings Easter eggs to take us away from the resurrection. So we have to be wise. I know this is not a spiritual channel, but I just wanted to tap into that because this is the holiday season and everybody's out here going broke, trying to buy gifts for one another when we should be giving a huge offering to the Lord. And I aim to do that with these dividends. I aim to give $1,000 offering to the Lord Jesus Christ for the dividends that He's given me for the past 4 months. It's the least I could do for what He's done for me and giving me health and strength. I didn't mean to get into that rampage, but yeah. And I think that's it. I think that's it. All right, so I'm out. This is it. This is YieldMax Mindset. We see it's taking a little dip here. So I'm out. You all have a great week. And if I don't see you before the Christmas holiday, you all have a Merry Christmas. And remember, Jesus is the reason for the season. I'm out.